Welcome back. It will take the collective efforts of all Nigerians, including the private and public sectors, to get the nation's economy out of recession. This is according to participants at the annual lecture series in Lagos, where ideas brought forward on how the federal government can revive the economy. The forum was organized by Hubert Humphrey Foundation in conjunction with the United States Consulate.
That Nigeria, Africa's giant, is going through a recession is no longer news. People feel the crunch as most businesses are struggling to survive. Government and other policymakers are on the drawing board, seeking ways out. It's on this note that the Hubert H. Humphrey Fellowship Program, sponsored by the U.S. Department of State in conjunction with Nigeria's Institute of International Affairs, set out to prefer solutions to the country's economic recession. With guests seated, Mr. Jude Udeme, president of the fellowship program, says it's their custom to discuss topical issues, and this year their focus is very apt.
Managing a recessionary economy has become a major challenge in our nation, and the need for cooperation, support from everyone cannot be overemphasized. We believe that with the necessary policy implementation and support, our nation can and will exit recession.
In the same vein, the national president of the Nigeria-America Chamber of Commerce says although Nigeria's recession is self-inflicted, information and brainstorming is needed to come out of the situation.
Did we see it coming? Was it avoidable? Can we get out of it? And if yes, how soon? Well, all these questions are formed topical issues that different analysts have dissected and feasted on in the past few months. But if you ask me, did we see it coming? I will say yes. Was it avoidable? I think you should ask the politicians. Can we get out of it? My answer is yes, we can.
Using the United States template, the Consul General of the U.S. Consulate says policy change and manufacturing innovations are all that's needed to make the nation's economy bounce back.
As the most populous country on the continent and the largest economy in Africa, Nigeria clearly stands to gain from increasing its attractiveness to foreign investors. As in the case for the U.S. economy, foreign investment offers much to contribute to Nigeria's ability to grow its economy and increase its global competitiveness. And I hope that Nigeria will use the current recession as an opportunity to adopt and implement effective economic reforms. Reforms to address the challenges that existed before the current recession, but will still need to be met and overcome after this recession ends.
Recession, a universal phenomenon, has hit even the most prosperous of nations at some point of their history. If they have come out stronger, Nigeria sure has hope.
The federal government has commenced that will be the implementation of a 3-year strategic reintegration plan for internally displaced persons across the country. This is cheering news for those forced to flee their homes by cases of violence. Our community report tonight highlights the background of the violent events in Benue State, where the first beneficiaries reside.
The battle for supremacy between Fulani herdsmen and farmers across the country has been in the news headlines for some time now, each reporting the same things: death and destruction. One state that has a huge portion of this sad tale is Benue State in the Middle Belt region, where over 1,000 people are alleged to have been killed this year alone. Expectedly, the killings brought out the anger of the people who took to the streets in protest. The state governor resorted to convening an emergency security meeting where he read the riot act to both the aggrieved and the accused.
You go and kill any cow anywhere, or you kill any man somewhere, you'll be dealt with according to the law. And I will not protect you. I'll say that anybody who wants protection should protect himself. When you go and commit crime and run to Otom, I will deal with you more. As governor, I have taken an oath. I have sworn to ensure equity, fairness, and justice to all the citizens of this state. And I will give protection, and I will keep to the oath of office that I took. And so, if you don't want to be sanctioned by the security agencies, don't commit crime. If you commit crime, you're on your own. And the same thing with the herdsmen too. If you trespass on anybody's farm, it will be the responsibility of this committee to arrest you and hand you over, and you must pay.
The state is moving on with help coming from the federal government. The displaced from Agatu, Guma, and Logo Council areas are the first beneficiaries of the government plan to reintegrate all IDPs across the country over the next 3 years by establishing shelter homes and relief items coordination centers.
We have to find a way of seeing how we can reintegrate them back to the societies where they can start life all over again. We provide for adequate housing and all other social amenities that come with it. So this is our strategy that we hope to embark upon.
For the beneficiaries, this could not have come at a better time.
We are about 30 of us in 2 rooms. Some of them are born in that the same room. It's only God that is our savior. So this item you are giving to us now is going to work. We are going to use it perfectly.
A laudable project to ensure lives return to normal after turbulence. But what must be top priority for the federal government beyond this is to ensure the problem between the warring parties is firmly dealt with. Otherwise, it will just be a waste of time.
Etisola, now you're talking.
The Edo State Commissioner for Police, Haliru Gwandu, says that he is resolved to bring to book any policeman found to be engaged in corrupt practices or abuse of human rights in the state. The Edo CP said this during an interactive session with civil society group Revolutionary Ambassadors at the Edo State Police Headquarters. Members of the group outlined some unprofessional conducts of some policemen in the state while seeking ways of collaboration to ensure better citizen-police relationship.
It's World Human Rights Day, and for the Revolutionary Ambassadors, a civil society organization, it is a time to dialogue with the Edo State Commissioner of Police on ways to improve people-police relations. The leader of the group, Curtis Ogbebo, and other members raised issues bordering on indiscriminate arrests, demand for money for bail, unprofessional conduct of some police officers, as well as suggestions on ways to curtail cultism in the state.
Police not arrest indiscriminately in order to get money from them. To the extent we have had experiences, some of our members have had experiences that they will, to the extent that the demand of the 500,000 even above to be suspect. We now ask, if I'm a suspected cultist or someone is suspected armed robber, of what use it is to collect such a huge amount of that from that suspect and still release that suspect?
They will leave their duty points and they will be asking for particulars. So I have confronted them several times. I said, look at, you are even causing traffic hold up.
Most of these days, we do find some police officers on black t-shirts, written gallant police on the back with a cross by the gun on the back of their t-shirt, with a jean and a canvas on their leg on the checkpoint. Sir, please, I want you to respond to that comment, sir.
The Edo State Commissioner of Police clarified some grey areas, promising to step up efforts to address some critical issues raised.
I and my management team totally dissociate with such characters. If my officer in front, I'll punish him. The laws are very clear. I cannot be behind the extortion of anybody. Not even extortion, I try to educate my men to ensure that they don't allow extrajudicial killing. We should also educate the citizen about the Constitution, about their rights, and about the rights of other individuals, including those who are enforcing the laws.
The courtesy call ends with both parties resolving to work together towards ensuring a crime-free Edo state.
And now to the arts. Art X Lagos Fair held art enthusiasts spellbound for days with an array of works of art on display, bringing the best artists from across the globe to the commercial hub. On Art Review tonight, we'll look at the types of art showcased during this art fiesta.
The Civic Center comes alive as distinguished guests make their way in to be part of this celebration of creativity of the Art X Lagos Fair. The first of its kind, not only in Lagos, but also in West Africa. Gaily dressed men and women, excitement written all over their faces as they look forward to this interesting fiesta.
Art X Lagos is a new contemporary art fair that is the first of its kind in Nigeria and in West Africa as well. It's the first international art fair to happen outside of South Africa on the African continent.
It's a place where creators meet buyers, greenhorns see more innovation, while art patrons get more insight on the latest techniques in the art world.
It's a good idea. It's a good meeting place to network, and for new artists, undiscovered artists, it's a good platform to discover them and to showcase them to the world. There's so much here that's happening in Nigeria, so much artistic platforms, a lot of curations, art exhibitions, but this is the big deal.
For 3 days, art lovers are treated to the best works of art. A breath of fresh air, you can call it, as some new media are brought into the hall. A lot of art enthusiasts couldn't resist but capture the lovely images on their phones.
It's really amazing to see such a wide collection of really incredible art from all over Africa. And indeed, I saw a really beautiful piece from an artist in New York. So it's an exciting evening. Also seeing the social and the cultural aspects of the art is really something.
Images that talk about all too familiar scenarios, such as the meeting between the Nigerian president and the German chancellor, to the elections in the United States. There are live drawing sessions. Any person, patient and willing, strikes a pose. A varied program of exhibitions, specially curated projects that show the vast nature of the art. For instance, beyond the usual suspects like painting, sculpture and photography, the audience get to appreciate video art, sound art and graffiti. There's something new in the offering, something art lovers need to see and enjoy, such as this photography corner, which is a bit of a history lesson for these young ones who take it all in, from the hairstyles to the dressing and the architecture.
What I have seen is fantastic, a lot of well-displayed artwork. Made in Nigeria, a lot of them, 99% is made in Nigeria. This is our own achievement, this is our treasure, and this is our life.
Whichever side of the divide one looks at it, the bottom line is Art X Lagos is adding to the discussion that art indeed plays a big role in any society. Africans are doing marvelous things and need to be displayed in order to create a vibrant art market so the world can see what Africa has to offer.
Next on the news at 10, Rivers United wins Super 4 pre-season tournament in Enugu. That's in sports news. Stay with us.